So we're just going to talk a bit about Claudia and some of the leaks that have come out surrounding her. Basically, she seems to have had a bit of a buff. However, I'm not too sure whether the buffs are enough to make her a DPS, really. We'll have to see. They probably put her in line with Frigg after the adjustments to Frigg. So, but essentially, I mean, I have the stats here, but overall, it seems to be around a 9% buff to most of her multipliers. So basic slashes, 9% increase in multipliers. Jumping strike, about a 9.5% increase. Cyclone, which is normal attack and hold, about a 9%. Diving attack, about 9%. Sneak attack, no change. Leap attack, about 9%. Weapon skill. Now the weapon skill I'll talk about in more detail. The discharge and weapon skill are her sort of main sources of damage. The discharge has been buffed in terms of both the main effect and the blade storm that's left behind. It's around 9% as well. But the weapon skill, interestingly, on the initial slash damage, there has been a buff. But on the final slash, which is quite an important piece of the damage, it's maybe about 40% of the damage, or 30 to 40% of the damage is from the final slash. And that's actually been adjusted back by 9%. So, interesting, because the slash... Because Claudia's weapon skill is on quite a low cooldown, and also a lot of her buffs rely on either using discharge or weapon skill. If you notice, I mean, this mob's resistant, but the final slash actually does quite a big chunk of the damage. So her weapon skill doesn't seem to have been buffed as much. It's probably still, since the initial slash has been buffed by 9%, it's probably still, let's say, 4%, maybe 3 to 4% buff. But overall, even with a 9% buff, right? So here's the thing, on CN, and I, of course, I acknowledge that CN meta will probably be very different to ours. But on CN, she's not really used as a main DPS. She's used as a source of buffs. Her advancement stars, based on the leaks, don't seem to have been changed, which is a good thing, because her advancement stars, the buffs that you get from them are quite significant. I can probably bring them up to show you guys. Hello, Lynn. So if we talk about advancement stars, right, on Claudia. The other thing to note is that her base stats have been buffed by around 12 to 15%. We don't know, I mean, that's just at base, so we don't know whether that's going to translate into still a 12 to 15% buff later on. But for now, it seems to be quite good, right? It seems to be quite good. So if you add that together with obviously getting physical resonance, which she doesn't have on CN, so that's a buff, and then about a 9% across the kit buff to multipliers except the weapon skill. It's not too bad. But I'm seeing these are really what you use her for. So, damage buff, again from skill or discharge skill hitting a target. War wounds from a skill or discharge skill hitting a target. And then the 5th star, just a flat out damage boost, again from weapon skill or discharge skill hitting a target, right? So you're not really using her for her basic attack as much. Because the main thing you want to do is apply buffs. So she's quite versatile. You can use her as a buffer. Probably still on global. That might be her role later on, when other physical DPS replace her in that use. We'll probably have to see though whether she can maintain that role as a main DPS. Although right now on global you really only have Shiro as the other SSR physical option. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Claudia.